the girl secretly went to meet the guy she had been dating online. But the moment they met, everything went wrong.
Surprise!
Natalie?
This was the photo her boyfriend had sent her, but in real life he looked like this. The girl had traveled 4,800 kilometers by car, originally hoping to surprise him, but what she got instead was a lie.
It had my name on it. You wrote, "Bye, Natalie."
I'm pretty good at Photoshop.
The woman's anger flared up once again. She rushed over and gave him a serious beating. At that moment neither of them could have imagined that fate had already tied their red thread tightly together. Having just arrived in this unfamiliar city, Annie was shocked to discover that very night that the man from the photo had also appeared at the bar. She immediately told her best friend. Even though she had been fooled, she had run into the boyfriend from the photo, and she decided to win over the man she liked that very night. To give herself some courage, she downed 2 very strong drinks, then stood in the most noticeable spot in the bar. Her bold dancing and beautiful voice quickly caught the attention of her dream guy, but when he turned around, the man was instantly stunned. It turned out that the drink contained kiwi, and she happened to be allergic to kiwi. She had no idea that her face had swollen up badly, and she still went up to her dream guy trying to look charming. It was not until she saw the mirror nearby that she panicked and fled in embarrassment. Luckily George had followed her there too. When he saw her pass out in the snow, he quickly rushed her to the hospital. The doctor said if she had arrived 10 minutes later, her life might have been in danger. This string of setbacks left Annie completely discouraged, but George came up with a good idea. He promised that within 3 days, he would help her win over the man she liked. After all, he knew him very well. Annie guessed there had to be a catch. Sure enough, because the girl had met his parents that night, he wanted her to pretend to be his girlfriend. After Christmas was over, they would find a chance to claim they had broken up. After weighing the pros and cons, Annie had no choice but to agree to his terms. Just like that, Annie moved into George's house as his girlfriend, and the two of them inevitably ended up staying in the same bedroom. The moment she walked in, she was stunned. The room was piled with trash everywhere. Not a single corner was clean. Before going to sleep, Annie took over the only bed, and George was kicked out to the couch. The next day George followed the plan, and arranged a chance encounter between Annie and her dream guy. He also lied and said she was his cousin. The two of them hit it off the moment they met. Her dream guy said he loved rock climbing. Annie forced herself to say she loved it too, so he invited her to go climbing with him that weekend. Annie regretted it as soon as she agreed. She had been afraid of heights since childhood, and had never tried the sport at all. When Annie was struggling the most, George stayed by her side the whole time, not only teaching her the proper moves, but also encouraging her to overcome her fear. That night, George's older brother suddenly came home, and brought along a beautiful girlfriend. In this big family, his brother had always been the center of attention. He had always looked down on George, because George had never dated anyone. He even mistook Annie for their grandma's nurse. Annie noticed George's embarrassment, so she wrapped her arm around him, and said she was his girlfriend. That move left his brother completely speechless. In the blink of an eye it was time for Annie's date, but the climbing wall turned out to be over 100 meters high. No matter what, she refused to climb. George thoughtfully took out a pair of headphones, then played a beautiful song. With his encouragement, Annie finally overcame her fear, and eventually reached the top. This date also made her dream guy